Hello, artists. Today we're going to make this fun snow person, snowman or snow lady, for a nice winter project. So the things that you're going to need today are your ruler, your Sharpie marker, a pencil, watercolors, white marker if you have it, always a piece of paper towel, and your brush and water. So to start, we want to make a frame around our sketchbook here. You can see that there's a frame around this snowman picture. So I'm just going to put my ruler on the edge of my sketchbook and use my pencil all the way around to make a frame. It's always good to use a ruler when you need some nice straight lines. So free drawing a frame may not turn out so straight. All right, the next thing we want to do is sketch where our snowman's going to be. You can sketch lightly with your pencil. I'm going to draw a little darker because pencil doesn't show up well on camera. So you want to look at the shape of the snowman's head, which is basically an oval. You don't want to put your head too high up on your picture because you need space for your hat. So you want to go about halfway down your picture to start your oval for your snowman's head. And it doesn't have to be perfect. After all, snowmen and snow ladies generally aren't really a perfect shape. So I've made my oval here. Now I need to make the shoulders coming down. The next thing I'm going to draw is my snow person's hat. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the oval of the picture and then go up and then come out, up and around. So here's the shape of my hat. The next thing I want to do is make my scarf. And that's basically these two simple lines. So here's my hat, my scarf. Now I need my snowman's face. So you can see just two simple eyes, an oval for a nose. So here's my eye, one round eye here, one round eye here, oval for a nose, and a nice big smile. I'm going to use my Sharpie marker to actually make my snow person's face. So I'm going to color in the eyes. I'm going to outline them first and then make a smaller circle on the inside for the highlight of the eye. And then I'm going to color it in. All right. Then I'm going to use my marker just to very lightly be on one side of the nose and draw the mouth. Now, if you don't have a Sharpie marker and you have a regular water-based marker, it would be better to paint this in watercolor than in water-based marker because your marker will spread. So you want to do it that way. So we want to start painting now with our watercolors, and I want to start making the background first. So I'm going to give myself a horizon line right behind my snowman or snow person. So this is the snow on the ground back here, and then this will be the background, the sky, or whatever it is back there. It's out of focus, so it could be anything. So I'm going to take a little bit of water and put it right up here at the top of my snowman, snow person, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of blue, not a ton. I want this to be a little bit lighter right over my snow person's head. Okay, now I'm going to take more blue on my brush and I'm going to color that in, making sure I'm staying within my frame. I don't want to go over the line where my frame is. Make that a little bit darker blue. All the way over to the other side and all the way down where the ground is, where the horizon line is. So I'm going to color that in. I might need a little more water on my brush sometimes. And just color that in. Okay, there's that side, and I need to do the same thing on this side, going around the hat. I want to leave room for a pom-pom at the end, so I'm going to leave that white. All right. Now that I have the blue, I'm actually going to wash my brush and then add some green to that. There might be some trees in the background, but it also just adds a little more texture and interesting color. Instead of just flat blue, have a little green back there too. It's a wintertime picture, so there might be trees, plants in the background. Added a little bit to the light blue here too. All right. So when you've got it the way you like it, you can stop. It doesn't have to be blended all the way in. So I like to see a little bit of the green and the blue. If you paint it all one color, it'll just be one color. I like to see the two colors. Now, the next thing I want to do is to start painting my snowman or my snow person. And so if you have something white with watercolor, you just leave it white. But I also want to add some texture to my snow person so that they're not just flat. In order to do that, what I want to do is I want to take some yellow, and I'm going to load my brush up with yellow, and I'm going to put it on the side here. And then I'm going to take the tiniest little dot of brown and add that to the yellow, maybe just a little bit more. So that makes a kind of warm brown color. And I'm going to use that on my snowman. So where the scarf is, I'm going to just add some of that warm brown to that area. And then on the other side as well. We don't want it to be super dark, but just so that there's a little texture to your snow person. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side of the face. Maybe a little bit here, the top of the mouth. All right, so I've just added a little bit of this warm brown everywhere on my snow person. Next thing I want to paint is the nose. So I'm going to pick some orange. I'm going to say this is a kind of stubby carrot for a nose and just paint that in. Now, even though it's made of snow, I'm going to add some rosy cheeks to my snow person. And I just want to touch the very tip of my brush to the red and add a very faint red rosy cheek. If you add too much red, you can always take your paper towel and wipe it off. I'm going to add the kohl buttons with black. So I want to paint 2 buttons here. You can paint 3 if you prefer. Here's 1, here's 2. Kohl is lumpy, so it doesn't have to be a perfect shape. Now, while I have the black on my brush, I can either paint the features of my snowman if I don't have a Sharpie marker, but I do want to paint the nose just a little bit. So I want to use the tiniest bit of black to give the nose a little more definition. So just add it a little bit on this side so you can see the nose just a little better. Okay. Next thing I need to do is make a decision about the hat and the scarf. What color are they going to be? Well, I made this one red with a green pom-pom. So I think I'll just do the opposite on this one so you can see what that would look like. You can make your hat and your scarf any color you like. So I'm going to take green on my brush and I'm just going to paint it everywhere. This is going to be the base color for my hat. So I want to paint the whole hat green. And I can add just a little water to my brush to spread that color around. I don't have to add any more color to it, just water. Because I kind of want it to be a lighter green, not really dark, dark. And also on my scarf. Now, if you want to make your hat green and your scarf red, or your hat purple and your scarf blue, that's fine with me. You can make it any color you like. So they don't have to match, but I'm going to make mine matching. You can make a rainbow scarf. You can make a rainbow hat. Whatever you would like. Okay, here's my base color green. Now, knit things like the scarf and the hat have texture. And in order to create the texture, we have to use a little bit darker colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my brush and dry it just a little bit so that it's not super wet. And I'm going to use the green paint, and I'm going to start making the textures, just squiggly lines on my scarf. And then underneath the neck, the lines are going to go up and down. All right, now I'm going to make texture on my hat. And if you notice, there's a band at the top of the Snowperson's hat. So I want to create that by making my squiggly lines stop. They're not going to go all the way. They're going to stop where the band starts. Now you can draw that band with your pencil if you want to, or you can just do like I'm doing and use your imagination for where the band stops. More paint, and I want to draw a little bit of squiggles across the top of my band. If you want to do that first, you can, or you can do it the way I did it. Next, I'm going to add squiggly texture to the top of my hat. Now, there's a place where my hat bends right here, so I'm going to make that a little bit darker, and then keep going with my squiggles towards the end of my hat where the pom-pom is. Okay, that's looking pretty good. That's got some good texture to it, but it needs to be a little bit darker. So I am going to take my green, and I'm going to load my brush up and add it over here, a little more. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of brown to that to make it darker. So I have a darker green. You can see that there. Right? So I'm going to use that to add some darker texture. You can see there are layers of texture here. So you just keep adding layers of color. So the darker green, I'm going to make go along the edge here. More texture. And a little bit on this side too, I think, just to keep it from the background. Under the chin of your snow person. And next to the body too. So as you can see, it's adding more definition and more texture to the hat and the scarf. If you run out of paint, like I just did, you want to be able to make more green. Let's add it on here, and a little bit of brown to make a darker green. And now I can add more texture. And I'm just kind of letting my brush wiggle on the page to make the texture. Where the bend is, I definitely want to make that darker. So there's a difference between this part right here, the pointy part of the hat, and I'm going to add a little texture along the outside edge. All right, that's looking pretty good. I like that. All right, now I have to make a decision about what color pom-pom I'm going to make. And I made this one green, so I'm going to use the other complementary color, which is red. And I'm going to make my pom-pom red. To add just a little bit of extra texture, I'm going to take the brown once more and just use a teeny bit of the brown and mix it in with that red, just a little bit, so that it looks fluffy. Now it looks more like a fluffy pom-pom. All right, now I've got snow in my picture, and I have used my white marker to make the snow. Remember, you have to shake these markers up before you use them. However, it's very important that you leave the cap on, because if you don't, your people splatter everywhere. So make sure the cap is nice and secure, shake up your marker, and then take the cap off. When you take it off, don't have your cap pointed down, have it pointed up, because sometimes the paint can still squirt out. Now, all we have to do is turn our marker upside down and gently press it, and it will make fun little snowflakes. Now, your snowman is in the snow too, so make sure your snowman or your snow lady or your snow person get some snow on them, because that's what would happen. They were outside, and it should go everywhere on your picture. So just let your marker make little dots everywhere, even on your snow person's face. Right? Kind of fun. On the scarf, so that we can see the snow is falling. All right. You'll need to let your picture dry, but after that, you might use it as a Christmas gift for someone or a holiday gift for someone. Thanks for participating in this fun snow person painting, and I look forward to seeing the ones that you make. That's all for today, artists.